all, I want to explain the chart and how it works. So we have 3 brioche knit columns, 1, 2, and 3, and in between, from here to here, we have 1 leaves panel, and from here to here, we have the second one. This is how it looks like on the shawl. So this is the central brioche knit column. This is this one, because here we have 4 stitches increase. See, here from one stitch we have 3 brioche knit stitches coming, and on the sides, these and this column is this one, we have 2 stitches increase, so we have 2 brioche knit columns going out of 1 stitch, and the same thing on the other side. So, and in between, inside of each leaves panel, we have a repeat, this one. So that means, like here, that I have already made a few repeats of these. You actually have to repeat from row 25 to 52, so 49, and after that 50, 51, and 52. I'll explain that later, but now I just wanted to know that you will actually repeat only these rows from 25 to 52, like I said, and inside of these rows you have to repeat this part. So like here at this point where I am, I have this is the this brioche knit column with the increase. After that I have 2 brioche knit columns, so well, actually this wasn't here, I would knit it here in this row, so this is 1, and after that 2 brioche knit columns. So from here I'll have my repeat, and the repeat goes until here, 2 stitches after the decrease here. So this is 1 repeat, you can see it here in the pattern. So this is 1. After that we have the second one. After that we have the third repeat, and these are these stitches that aren't in the repeat, so you need it once. These and these, you need them once. So we have the repeat of the pattern, so this black frame, that is actually the repeat, stops here, and then in the end you knit these stitches until you get to this central stitch. You knit them once, and then you start again the leaves panel from the beginning. So I hope it's clear. If not, I will explain more while I'm knitting, and I hope it will be clearer. Let's start. For the shawl you have to cast on 13 stitches from 1 stitch, and I will show you how I usually do it. I take the working yarn and make a loop like this with the tail under the working yarn, and then I put my fingers like this, and I start to knit inside of this stitch. So I knit once, yarn over, that will be 2 stitches, again knit, it's 3, yarn over, that's 4, knit, that's 5, yarn over, it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. After that we just pull on the tail, tighten that loop, and we can start. So I usually just slide the stitches to the other end of the needle because I don't like this bump here, so I don't want to turn. I slide them. Anyway, we'll slide the stitches because it's brioche. So we slide the stitches and we start knitting row number 1. And in row number 1, as we can see in the chart here, we have to knit and slip one yarn over again and again. So that's what we will do. Knit one. I have this tight stitch here in the beginning. Knit one. Slip one yarn over means we can go with the needle under the yarn and slip the stitch from the needle. Again, knit one. Or if you're not comfortable with slip one yarn over as I did it, you can do the yarn over and then slip purlwise the stitch from the needle. And then we knit one again. And repeat the same thing. Slip one yarn over, knit one. Again, slip one yarn over, knit one. Slip one yarn over, knit one. It's kind of difficult right now, but the next rows it will be okay. Knit one, slip one yarn over, and knit one in the end. After that, we slide the stitches to the other end. So the first time we slide, but we could have turned, but now we have to slide because we pick up the contrast color and we have to knit row number 2. And this is one of the important ones because it will be repeated many times, and I will explain it just once and maybe the second time when I'll explain why I will explain it again. Say it again. In row number 2 we have to slip purlwise with yarn in front the selvage stitches, see here in the beginning and in the end, and then inside of all the rest, inside of the selvage stitches, we repeat brioche purl, slip one yarn over again and again, in the end brioche purl, and then the selvage stitch. So let's knit. So I put usually my tails together. I put the yarn in front. Well, then in the next rows it will be in front. Let's focus better. And but now I just put it like this, and we start. As I said, the first selvage stitch is slip one purlwise with yarn in front. After that we have to brioche purl. That means we knit the stitch and the yarn over. So it's, I have here lace yarn, so it's gonna not so good to make you see it. I just really like how it turns out for my leaves. So maybe I will show it better in the next rows, but believe me, here I have 2 stitches. Let's see it closer. See, I have the stitch and the yarn over. So in brioche that's 1 stitch, and we have to brioche purl when we purl together the stitch and the yarn over. Let's focus again. So that's a brioche purl, and as I said, in this row we have to repeat brioche purl, slip one yarn over, and again brioche purl, slip one yarn over, we go the needle under the yarn and slip purlwise the stitch, and again brioche purl, slip one yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl in the end, and my screen is going down, and slip purlwise with yarn in front the selvage stitch. And this was a row number 2. After the odd rows we slide the stitches, after the even rows we turn the work. So now we have to knit a row number 3. So we turn the work, we pick up the main color yarn. So let's see what we have here in row number 3. We start and end with the purl stitch as a selvage stitch, and then we have the repeat slip on yarn over, brioche purl. So in the previous row we had brioche purl, slip on yarn over, and here we have slip on yarn over, brioche purl again and again, and slip on yarn over in the end. So let's do that. So as I said, the edge stitch is a purl stitch. After that, the repeat slip on yarn over, brioche purl. So here is better to see it. We have the stitch and the yarn over from the previous row. See, 2 yarns, 2 colors of yarn, and we purl it together, and that's a brioche purl. After that, we have just 1 stitch in a contrast color, and we slip on yarn over. We add a yarn over here, and again brioche purl, slip on yarn over, 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 and in the end brioche purl the selvage stitch. So as I said, after the odd row we slide the stitches to the other end, we pick up the contrast color yarn, and we need a row number 4. And let's see in the chart what we have in row number 4. We have the selvage stitch is slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front in the beginning and in the end, and after that the repeat in this row is brioche knit, slip on yarn over again and again and again, in the end brioche knit and the selvage stitch. So let's knit that. As I said, the selvage is slip 1 purlwise with yarn in the back, so we have it in the back and we just leave it there. And after that the repeat brioche knit. That means, you see, we have here the stitch and the yarn over, and we have to knit it. We knit them, if you count normally that's 2 stitches, you knit them together, or in brioche that's 1 stitch and you knit it, and that's a brioche knit. And after that slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, slip on yarn over, 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 brioche knit, and slip purlwise with yarn in the back, the selvage stitch. I just pull on my tails, everything, and let's turn the work. Pick up the main color yarn, and we knit a row number 5. So let's see. In row number 5 we have the first action. Starting here we have the increase here in the leaves panels, because we have 2. So we brioche knit 1 column, and then we increase, then we brioche knit again 1 column, and this, as I said, this leaves panel goes here too, so we have this part twice here also. So one brioche knit, one increase, one brioche knit, one increase, one brioche knit. And let's do that. We start with the edge stitch, and it's a knit stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, and then in the brioche knit stitch, as I said, we have that on the right, that column, that pillar that before the panel leaves. That's one, slip on yarn over. Here we do the increase, that's already in the leaves panel. So we have a 4 stitches increase. That means you brioche knit, don't slip the stitch from the needle, yarn over, again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. So in the end you have to get 5 stitches here on the needle, and then you can slip the stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, again the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. So we have 5 stitches. We can slip the stitch from the needle. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that last pillar that I showed you in the chart, that last column, brioche knit column. After that, slip on yarn over and knit the selvage stitch. And that was row number 5. And since I said that rows 2, 3, and 4, or at least that row number 2, I said that it's important because after after each row, as you can see in the chart, I have 5, then 9, and 13, and so on. After each of these rows, we have to repeat rows 2, 3, and 4. And in row number 2, there's a little exception that you have to take care of every time. So since we had the increases, we will have a difference. As I said before, the repeat for row number 2 is brioche purl slip on yarn over, so that's what we should repeat. But there's a little catch, and I will explain it. So we slip purlwise with yarn in front the selvage stitch, and we start the repeat as I said in row number 2. Brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, and here we have those increased stitches. You can see them, there's 5 stitches in the same color, no yarn overs in contrast colors. So here we slip on yarn over, purl instead of brioche purl. We don't have a yarn over this stitch, so we just it's a purl stitch, not a brioche purl. We purl it again, slip on yarn over, again purl, not brioche purl. Don't take 2 stitches, just 1, and slip on yarn over. So this is what happens when you have these increased stitches. When you will have a brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, so we will increase by 2 stitches, we will do that just once. So you'll have slip on yarn over, purl, slip on yarn over, and then you go further and you repeat wherever you have to repeat. Here we did that 4 stitches increase, so I have more. So I continue brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, and we get it again to the increased stitches, and the same exception applies. We purl instead of brioche purl. Slip on yarn over, purl, slip on yarn over, and then we continue the normal repeat, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip purlwise with yarn in front the selvage stitch. So that was row number 2, and I explained it again because I wanted to explain this exception when you have to purl instead of brioche purl, but the rest is just like in the chart, well, with this exception. But in rows 3 and 4 there's no exception, so you'll knit these rows, and after that I will show you how to knit a row number 9. The difference in row number 9 is that instead of just 1 stitch here in the leaves panel, 1 brioche stitch I mean, we have 3 brioche stitches, and just above the previous increase we increase again, but we don't increase by 4 stitches, only by 2. So it will be a brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, instead of a brioche 4 stitches increase like we did in the previous row. So let's knit row number 9. We knit the edge stitch, the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that column on the right that you see fuzzy here, but I showed it already. So after that, slip on yarn over, and we have that increased stitch. So again, we brioche knit. As I said, the increase should be just above the increase. So in the central stitch, we will increase again. See, we have 3 brioche knit stitches coming from this one stitch, and in the central one, we increase. So brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, and we brioche knit here. So this actually, and after this, slip on yarn over from this stitch here. It's that leaves panel that I have in my chart. So we did it once. Now we brioche knit that central brioche knit column, that one in the chart, and then we start again the leaves panel. So slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here we again get to that central stitch, and we increase here, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, we increase by 2 stitches. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, and slip on yarn over, and we finished the leaves panel. And then we brioche knit that last brioche knit column, slip on yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. So that was row number 9. After that, as usual, you knit rows 2, 3, and 4. And remember, as I showed you after row number 5, that when you have the increases, you purl instead of brioche purl. And after that, I will show you how to knit row number 13. In row number 13, we brioche knit these columns outside the leaves panels with no increases at this point, and inside the leaves panel 2 times we will have the following: brioche knit 2 columns, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and brioche knit 1 column. So let's knit it, and you'll see better how it looks like in your work. So we knit the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over. So as I said, this is that column outside the panel, brioche knit, and then the panel, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over. Here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here is the end of our leaves panel. So this is the central stitch. I can even put a marker there so it's clearer. So maybe you can, if you want, you can do it too. So you'll know that this column is this one on the chart here, the central one. And after this, after the marker, we start again from this point, from the entire leaves panel. So let's knit again that panel. Oh, I didn't knit this column, so I put the marker and I knit it brioche knit it, and then we start the leaves panel. Slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over. In the third brioche knit column we do the increase, so brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and after that you can slip the stitch from the needle. After that, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and we have finished the second leaves panel, and in the end we have that brioche knit column, slip one yarn over, and the selvage stitch. And again my screen is switching off, so brioche knit, knit the selvage stitch in the end. And as usual, after row number 13 you have to knit rows 2, 3 and 4, and after that we'll knit a row number 17. In row number 17 we have more stitches in each leaves panel, so we brioche knit 2 times, increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and again brioche knit 2 times, and that's one leaves panel. Again brioche knit that central stitch where we put the marker, and start again from here. So we do again brioche knit 2 columns, increase, brioche knit 2 times, and in the end we have this brioche knit column and the selvage stitch. So let's knit row number 17. Knit the selvage stitch, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn, and now we start the leaves panel, slip one yarn over, as I said, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, and here we increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and slip from the needle, slip one yarn over, and again brioche knit 2 times, 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, and we get to that central stitch. So we finished the leaves panel, brioche knit that central column, and again the second time we need again that leaves panel, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, here we increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, after that slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2 times, 1, slip one yarn over, 2, slip one yarn over, and we have finished the second leaves panel, and now we brioche knit that column in the end and slip one yarn over and knit the selvage stitch. So that was row number 17, and now you have to knit as usual rows 2, 3 and 4, and after that I'll show you how to knit row 21. In row number 21 we have increases here in these 3 columns that are outside the leaves panels. So as I said in the beginning, we increase on the sides, we do a brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and in the middle we do a brioche 4 stitches increase. As I said, in the center we have 4 stitches increase, so that means from one stitch we have 3 brioche knit stitches, so 2 actual leaves that come from this central column, and on the sides we have brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, so that's just one. From one stitch we have 2 brioche knit columns that go, and just one leaf that is formed here on this side, and the same thing on the other side. See, from one stitch, 2 brioche knit stitches and one new leaf. Every time one new leaf, and on the center we have 2 leaves, 2 leaves, 2 leaves, again and again. So, and that was about these columns, and then in the center, in the leaves panel, we have 3 brioche knit columns, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, 2 brioche knit columns. and let's knit that. So knit the selvage stitch. After that, slip one yarn over, and this first column, as I said, that's the one on the right in the chart, so we have to brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip one yarn over. Oh, after this, we have the leaves panel that's starting, and here we have slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip one yarn over, and here we increase. So brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and after that 2 brioche knit columns, 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, and we get to this central column, central stitch, and here, as I said, we have to brioche 4 stitches increase. 1 brioche knit, slip one yarn over, sorry, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. So when we have 5 stitches on the needle, we can slip the stitch off the left hand needle, and we start again that leaves panel, and it's slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip one yarn over, and after that we increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, then slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, and we have finished the second time the leaves panel, and here it's the last column here in the chart, so we do 2 stitches increase, that's brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip one yarn over and knit the edge stitch. So that was row number 21, and as usual after that you have to knit rows 2, 3 and 4, and then I will show you how to knit row number 25. So as I said, from row number 25 we have the repeat. It's the first row of the group of rows that you have to repeat again and again to knit the shawl, the desired length of the shawl, width of the shawl that you want. These until row 24, these were setup rows. We knit them only once. So now we start the rows that are repeating, and the first one is row 25. And while we will knit these rows, I want to explain how you will work with this part that you have to repeat inside of each of the leaves panel. So for that we can place some markers, and it will be easier to follow the chart like this. We will place markers here in the beginning and here on this column and on this column, and you will know that in between now we will have just one repeat of the pattern here, but the next time you will knit these rows you will have more and more repeats, so you repeat again and again, and then in the end you repeat this. Well, let's knit and it will be easier to understand. So we knit the edge stitch. After that, slip one yarn over. So as you remember, the first brioche knit column, it's that side column from which all the leaves are, not all, but one part of the leaves are created from. So here, our first leaf here. So this is like outside the leaves panel, and now we start the leaves panel. Slip one yarn over, and on this column we can place a marker, and we will know that this is the first stitch that we have that goes into that repeat of the stitches. So the repeat starts here, and we work all the stitches inside of the repeat. So brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over. Here we increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and on this column we can place another marker, and we will know that this is where all our repeats end. So next time when you knit this row, you'll have the same thing. You'll have an increase here in this column in the middle, and in the first column of the 3 from the increase you can place the marker, and this is where all the repeats will end. At this point all the repeats will start, and here they will end. So after that, in the next 20 row number 25, when you will knit it again, you will have 2 repeats here, then you'll have 3, but the stitches that remain, so here the place of the marker will be the same. Here you will have the marker in the stitch next to that central one, and here you will have it not in the first brioche knit column but in the second one. So let's do it again. We'll knit this brioche knit column that is outside the panel leaves. After that, slip on yarn over, and here we get to that central line, central column, that's this one on the chart, and we brioche knit this one also. And after that we start the panel leaves again from this point, slip on yarn over, and in this column we start again the repeat. So I will place another marker, and it will be easier to explain. So we again start the repeat, this part, the repeating part inside of the leaves panel. Brioche knit 4, that's 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, and here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over and brioche knit 3, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and this is where this repeating part ends. So I will place another marker here in the next column, brioche knit stitch, and we know that this is where it ends, and it's again not the first brioche knit column from the end but the second one. Brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. So this is how it all looks like. So we have that previous marker in the central stitch, And then we have the repeat inside of the leaves panel, and here also. So now you have to knit rows 2, 3 and 4, and then I will show you how to knit the next row, number 29. In row number 29 we have almost only brioche knit stitches, only this one inside of the leaves panel. We have just one increase here, so I have brioche knit 5, increase brioche knit 3 until the end of the panel. So let me show you how it will look like in your work. Knit the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, and we have that brioche knit column on the side, and here, and slip on yarn over, and here we know that our leaves panel starts. So as I said, we have 5 brioche knit columns in the repeat. 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 5, slip on yarn over. Here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over and brioche knit 3. 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and this is where our repeat ends. So when you'll have more, you will do again from this brioche knit 5, increase brioche knit 3, again and again and again. After that, you brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, and we get to that central stitch, this column in the chart, and we brioche knit that, and after that slip on yarn over, and we get again to this side where our leaves panel starts. So we are here actually, but here we have the entire chart for the panel, so we look from this point. And as I said, the repeat is brioche knit 5, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 5, slip on yarn over, and here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over and brioche knit 3. 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and see the marker that we have come to the end of the panel. So in the end we brioche knit this column, slip on yarn over, and brioche knit that column that we have in the end on the left side. After that, slip on yarn over, knit the edge stitch. As usual, after this row you have to knit rows 2, 3 and 4, and then we will knit the next row. It's more interesting. We have the decreases here. It's row number 33. So in row number 33 we have inside of the panel, inside the repeat of the leaves panel, we start with the 4 stitches increase, left slant decrease, 5 brioche knit columns, right slant decrease, and then the repeat inside of the leaves panel ends, and outside we have an increase, a 4 stitches increase, and then we have those brioche knit columns usual that we need, and again the leaves panel here, and in the end brioche knit and slip on yarn over and the selvage stitch. So now I will start knitting with my circulars because I don't I can't hold my stitches on this short needle, the DPN. And let's start knitting. So knit the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that column, that side column, slip on yarn over, and as we can see from the marker that we put here, this is the point where our repeat starts, and inside the repeat we have to do the brioche 4 stitches increase. So brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. When we have 5 stitches on the needle, we can slip the stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, and here we have to do the left slant decrease. For that, slip knitwise the brioche stitch, knit together the next stitch and stitch with yarn over. So that's 2 brioche stitches or 3 normal stitches if you count the yarn over as a stitch. So we knit them together and pass over that slipped stitch with a yarn over, and we have the left slant decrease. After that, slip on yarn over and brioche knit 5 columns. 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, and brioche knit 5, slip on yarn over, and here we will do the right slant decrease. For that, you can see already this is our leaf. So let's do the right slant decrease. For that, slip knitwise the brioche stitch and yarn over, knit the next stitch, pass over the slipped stitch with the yarn over, slip the stitch to the left needle, and pass over the next brioche stitch, that means the stitch and the yarn over. And in the end, you slip the stitch to the right hand needle, and that's it. You have the right slant decrease. After that, slip on yarn over, and you can see by the marker we have got to the end of the repeat. So when you have more, you start again from this point and you knit until this point. So from the marker to the marker. And now in the end we increase again. In the end, I mean after the repeat, but in the end of the leaves panel. So 4 stitches increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. When we have 5 stitches on the needle, we can slip the stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, and we finished the leaves panel, and we got to that central stitch. See? And we brioche knit that, slip on yarn over. We start already the second leaves panel, and here the marker for the start of the repeat. And just like in the previous leaves panel, we start with a 4 stitches increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and again I will show you how to do the decreases. So left slant decrease, slip knitwise the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, that means the stitches and 1 yarn over, 2 stitches and 1 yarn over. After that, pass over the stitch with the yarn over that we slipped, and there you go. After that, slip on yarn over, and then we brioche knit 5 columns. 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 5, slip on yarn over, and then we do the right slant decrease, slip knitwise the brioche stitch, knit the next stitch, pass over the slipped stitch, slip this resulting stitch to the left needle, and pass over the next brioche stitch, that means the stitch and the yarn over, and in the end just slip slip this stitch to the right needle. So this is and slip on yarn over, and this would be the end of the repeat inside of the leaves panel. And then after you have done all the repeats from here to here again and again, in the end you have to brioche knit for brioche 4 stitches increase. So brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and in the end, after we have finished here the leaves panel, we can brioche knit that brioche column, slip on yarn over, and knit the edge stitch. And this is how the work looks like. At this point, we are starting to see the leaves forming by the decreases. Well, it will be clearer in the next rows, but you also can see the repeats here, from here to here. So now we have just one repeat. The next time you will knit these rows, you'll have more and more repeats. So that's why it's good to delimitate these stitches that are inside the leaves panel but outside the repeat. Well, now you, as usual, knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll knit row number 37. In row number 37, we have again increases, decreases. So we start with a brioche knit inside the panel, increase inside the repeat. To start the repeat inside the panel, 1 brioche knit, left side decrease, 3 brioche knit columns instead of 5 in the previous row. So now we have only 3. After that, right side decrease, brioche knit, and that's it for the repeat inside the leaves panel. And after that, in the end, after all the repeats, we do 2 stitches increase, so that's brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and then brioche knit 1 column. And after that, we brioche knit that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that central line, and again we repeat the leaves panel and brioche knit in the end, and slip on yarn over and the salvage stitch. So let's see how it's done. So we knit the edge stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that column on the right side outside the leaves panel. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here is the new point where our repeat starts. So here we have the marker, but since we have 3 stitches coming out of this stitch that we marked, we need to place again the marker, or at least I recommend you to do that, because this way you won't have any confusion. So you can place it, well, place it here on the stitches. So the repeat starts here from this stitch, and we start with an increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, and we see here the left side decrease from the previous row, and just above it, while using this stitch from that we have from the decrease, we decrease again. So slip, again the left side decrease here, slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, and pass over that slipped stitch with the yarn over. After that, slip on yarn over, and as I said, in the middle between the decreases we have 3 brioche knit stitches, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and here we have the right slide decrease. So slip knitwise the brioche stitch, knit the next one, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle, and pass over the next brioche stitch, and in the end you slip the stitch to the right needle. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, and again we have that marker for the end of the repeat, and we have those 3 stitches coming out of this one marked, so I'll place the marker here above just to see where we have all the repeats ending. So when you have more repeats, you'll just know that this is the place. So when you have 3 stitches here coming out after the first one and the slip on yarn over, you place the marker. That's the end of the repeat. And when you do you have done all the repeats, in the end you increase here in the stitch after the marker, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, and we got to that central stitch. Here it is, brioche knit that, slip on yarn over. So we are again at this point in the beginning of the leaf panel. So again we place the marker here above, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, and place the marker. And here we start with an increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn, slip knitwise the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3 columns, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and here we have the right slide decrease, slip knitwise the brioche stitch, knit the next one, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle, pass over the next brioche stitch, and slip the stitch to the right needle. And after that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, and we place again the marker here above just to show the end of the repeat. So after you have done all the repeats, in the end you just have to in the end of the leaves panel you have to increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, and then you got to that last column, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. After that, as usual, you have to knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll knit the next row, number 41. In row number 41, we start with the brioche knit column. Then inside the leaves panel, we have a brioche knit again, and then the repeat inside the leaves panel starts with a brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, again brioche knit, left slide decrease, 1 brioche knit column, right slide decrease, after that 1 brioche knit, and here's the end of the repeat inside of the panel. After that we have the brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and again brioche knit to finish the leaves panel. And then we get to the central column, repeat again in the entire leaves panel, In the end, brioche knit, slip on yarn over and knit the selvage stitch. So let's do that. Knit the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, knit that side column, slip on yarn over, brioche knit one. We are already have started the leaves panel, and now at this point, slip on yarn over, we start the repeat inside of the panel. So as I said, in between these markers we have all the repeats. So here the repeat is brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit in the same stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, left slend decrease, again to continue this line of decreases. So slip knit twice, knit the next 2 stitches together and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here to continue the right slend decreases, and we do another one, slip knit twice, knit the next stitch, pass over, slip to the left needle, pass over, slip to the right needle, and that's it for the right slend decrease. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit one, slip on yarn over, and that's the end of the repeat inside of the panel. So next time when you need this row, you start again from this point. Well, inside of the markers you'll have more of these segments. You start again in the chart inside the black frame. So from this point to this point. After you have done all your repeats, you brioche knit, slip on yarn over, increase, so that's brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit one, slip on yarn over, and we got to that central column. We brioche knit one, slip on yarn over, and start again the leaves panel. Slip on yarn over, brioche knit, and as you can see by the marker, you start again the repeat inside of the leaves panel. Brioche knit, slip on yarn over, here we have the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, and here the brioche knit, I wanted to say the decrease, but it's the brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here the left slend decrease, slip knit twice, knit together, pass over, and that's it. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit one, slip on yarn over, right slend decrease here, so slip knit twice, knit the next stitch, pass over, slip the stitch to the left needle, pass over, slip to the right needle. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit one, slip on yarn over, and we have finished the repeat here. So if you have more, you'll do that again and again, and you get to the marker, and after that you brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit in the same stitch, increase, slip on yarn over, brioche knit one, slip on yarn over, and brioche knit that last column. After that, slip on yarn over and knit the selvage stitch. So this is how the knitting looks like. At this point we already can see the leaves here, one and the second one. So after that, you as usual knit rows 2, 3 and 4, and then we'll knit row number 45. In row number 45 We have almost all the stitches only to brioche knit. Just in the beginning and after the end of the repeat inside the leaves panel, we have to increase. So the increase starts with the repeat inside of the leaves panel starts with an increase, and when you get to the other increase, you know that, well, in the next row after you have done the increase, you know that this is the um, end of the repeat. So let me show you how to do that. Knit the selage stitch, after that slip on yarn over, brioche knit that side column, slip on yarn over, and here we have 2 brioche knit stitches, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and that's where our repeat starts. So you can place your marker, update the position of the marker, and we will increase here, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, after that slip on yarn over, and we have to brioche knit 7 columns, 7 stitches, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over. Here above the leaf we have, from the leaf we have 3 brioche knit stitches, 1, slip on yarn over, 2, slip on yarn over, 3, slip on yarn over. So that's 2 plus 3, and in the end we have 2 more, 1, slip on yarn over, and 2, slip on yarn over. And at this point we have the end of the repeat. So again, update the place of the marker. If you have more repeats, you know that this is the place where you have to put your marker to finish the repeat, and then after all the repeats you brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2 columns, 1, slip on yarn over, 2, slip on yarn over, and we get to that central line, central column. We brioche knit that, slip on yarn over, and that's where we start again the leaves panel. And again, let's update the position of the markers. So we brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and this is where the repeat starts. And my turtle got stuck. Okay, lost my yarn over. So here's my turtle, and after the start of the repeat we know we have to increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that slip on yarn over, brioche knit 7 columns as I said previously, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 5, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 6, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 7, slip on yarn over, and that's the end of the repeat. So again, if you have more, you just repeat them again and again, and after that you have the marker, and after the marker you have to increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2 columns, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and we have that last brioche knit column to knit, slip on yarn over and knit the selvage stitch. And this is what we have so far. After that, as usual, you knit rows 2, 3 and 4, and then I will show you the last row to repeat for this pattern, row number 49. In row number 49 we have an increases in all these columns in between the leaves panel. So in the beginning we have brioche knit, yarn over brioche knit. In the middle we have 4 stitches brioche increase, and in the end we have again a brioche knit, yarn over brioche knit. Inside the leaves panel we have 2 brioche knit, then the repeat starts. Inside the repeat we have brioche knit, then the increase brioche knit, yarn over brioche knit, 2 brioche knit columns, 4 stitches brioche decrease, after that 2 brioche knit columns, and then the repeat ends. And outside the repeat but inside the panel we have a brioche knit, yarn over brioche knit, so 2 stitches increase, and then 2 brioche knit columns in the end of the panel. And then you know that here you have to repeat again everything that we have here. So let's knit that. Knit the selvage stitch, and all of my markers make noise. Let me get it like this. So after that, slip on yarn over, and as I said, the first brioche knit column that we have is that one on the side in the chart, and we have to increase here, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, and here we have the start of the leaves panel, and we have 2 brioche knit columns, 1 slip on yarn over, brioche knit, 2 slip on yarn over, and here we have all the repeats inside. Well, now we have 1, but when you'll have more, you have all the repeats here. So you start the repeat, brioche knit, slip on yarn over. Here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2 columns, 1 slip on yarn over, brioche knit, 2 slip on yarn over, and we get to this point where we have 3 brioche knit columns that go from the leaf. Here we do the 4 stitches brioche decrease, and we work on these 5 brioche stitches. So I have 3 stitches with a yarn over and 2 stitches without a yarn over in between. And how do we knit that? Slip knitwise the first brioche stitch and the yarn over. Again, slip knitwise the next brioche stitch. Then this central stitch goes to a cable needle or to a slip marker. I like to use this kind. And you place it, leave it in front of the work. After that, knit the next brioche stitch, pass over the previously slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle and pass over the next brioche stitch, slip the stitch to the right needle and pass over the previous brioche stitch. After that, you place the stitch from the marker or the cable needle to the left hand needle, slip the stitch from the right needle to the left needle and pass over that central stitch, and then slip the stitch to the right needle, and there you go, you have all the stitches like this, like a big sandwich one above another. So that was the brioche 4 stitches decrease. After that we have a slip on yarn over and 2 brioche knit columns, 1 slip on yarn over, brioche knit, 2 slip-on yarn over, and here we have the end of the repeat. So if you have more, you just repeat what I have done now from the marker and until this point, until the marker. After you have repeated all, you have made all the repeats that you have, you finish the leaves panel, and for that knit the brioche stitch, slip-on yarn over. Here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip-on yarn over and brioche knit 2 columns, 1, slip-on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip-on yarn over. So here we are at the central stitch, and here we do the 4 stitches increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. Don't forget to do that. I sometimes forget to increase in these columns. I just get used to the fact that I have to just brioche knit them, and I remember in the peacock shawl I have made a few times this mistake and then turn back and undo everything, and well, I don't recommend you do that, so pay attention. In the beginning, in the middle, and in the end we have increases. In the beginning and in the end we have 2 stitches increase, in the middle we have 4 stitches increase. So we increase here, and after that we repeat again the leaves panel. So slip-on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip-on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip-on yarn over, and we got to the repeat inside the leaves panel, and it starts with a brioche knit, slip-on yarn over. After that we brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit in the same column, in the same stitch, slip-on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip-on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip-on yarn over, and we got to the point where we have to decrease the 4 stitches decrease, and for that slip knitwise the brioche stitch, slip knitwise the next stitch, then slip purlwise the central stitch to the marker or cable needle, leave it in front of the work, knit the next stitch, pass over the previous stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle, pass over the next brioche stitch with the yarn over, slip the stitch to the right needle, pass over the previously slipped stitch and yarn over. After that you slip the stitch from the marker or cable needle to the left hand needle, pass over the slipped stitch, the resulting stitch to the left needle, pass over the central stitch and slip the stitch to the right needle, and there we go, we have the decrease. After that slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and we have the end of the repeat here. So if you have more repeats, you just have to repeat again and again what I showed you at between these points from the marker and until at this moment. When you have made all the repeats, you can finish the leaves panel. So knit, brioche knit, slip on yarn over. Here we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that slip on yarn over and brioche knit 2 columns, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and here we do the increase, 2 stitches increase, so brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that slip on yarn over and knit the edge stitch. So this was a row number 49. This is what we have at this point. So you see the entire leaf here. After the decrease we see the form of the leaf. And after this row, you have to repeat rows 2, 3, and 4 as usual. And then you start the repeat of the pattern from row number 25. As I said, this black frame shows you where you have to start the repeats at this point into row 25, and you repeat again everything I showed you, and in between the markers you'll have two repeats of this part that you have inside of the leaves panel. So after you have knit rows 2, 3, and 4, after the row 49, you have to start again from row 25, and if you are using the markers to see where the repeat inside of the leaves panel starts and ends, now is the moment to readjust the place of those markers according to the chart. So we see in the chart that our repeat starts just after the brioche knit, the side brioche knit column, and the repeat ends one brioche knit stitch before that central or side column. So let's move them here where the marker is, and here is where I have to place it, just after the slip-on yarn over, just before the second brioche stitch that I have. That is the beginning of the repeat, and then for the end of the repeat it will be, as I said, one, we see the central stitch, and it will be one brioche knit stitch before that central one. So one brioche knit stitch before the central one is here. So the repeat ends here at this point. You can place the markers, and then when you have to knit, you just repeat 2 times this part. Let's place the markers on the other side. So again, the first one goes right next to the central stitch. So after that purl stitch, you see the central one, and then the purl stitch, and just before the next brioche stitch that goes to the central one, you place the marker, and then in the end you place it one stitch before the last one, one brioche stitch before the last one, so it will be here. And after you have placed the markers, you just, as I said, you repeat inside of the markers. You'll repeat 2 times this part, these stitches in the chart, and you knit exactly like I showed you on row 25, and I even specified I stopped at the points where the repeat ends, so you can start over. You knit it once, then you start over, and you knit it the second time. So this is how the pattern goes. Now after you have knit the rows 25 to 52, how many times you decide, depends how large you want the shawl to be, so you just stop whenever you feel is right for you. And after that, so it would be after row 49, you knit rows 2, 3, and 4, just like we did right now, and then you start to bind off. And I will show you. I have in my peacock shawl, I have this, I showed already this bind off. It's very simple, but sometimes I get the question of how to bind off, so I want to show you again. Maybe it's easier when it's all in one video. I guess I'll just take out markers so that they won't make this noise. So much noise. And there it is. So the bind off is very simple, and it goes like that, like this. Knit the first stitch. After that, when you have a knit stitch, you knit it. When you have a purl stitch, you purl it. And you pass over the stitch. Again, I have a knit stitch, a brioche knit stitch, because it has a yarn over. I just knit them, I brioche knit the stitch and the yarn over, and pass over the previous stitch. So it's kind of the usual simple bind off, only adapted to the brioche. So when you have a purl stitch, you purl. When you have a brioche knit stitch, you brioche knit it, pass over a purl stitch, you purl it, and pass over. And here you would want to leave the stitches, I didn't, but I should, looser than usual, because when you block the shawl, you will want to have a loose bind off. So it's kind of like that, and just pay attention to leave these stitches looser than you would. Or you can use a larger needle, and this way you won't have to control it. The needle will do that for you. And just repeat these steps again and again. And this is what you have here when you bind off like this. Since I get asked so many times how my peacock shawl has all those peaks like that, I wanted to explain what I did. It's not that I knit something, it's kind of like the same as here. I just blocked the shawl. So first of all, you wash the shawl in warm water, and then you soak it into a towel, and after that you can start blocking it. So the first thing I do, I pin my middle. I can even pin it like this just for the beginning. If I will feel it, I can replace that. So like this on the sides. Here. No, it's not a straight line. Again, I have to go like this. See, even my pillow doesn't stand the chance. Now I have to do it. Well, let's place it more like this. And then you can make a straight line here and then pin it. Well, of course the pillow doesn't work so good. After that we can block here, put a few pins here to block this line. I always do that in these points where we have the increases or something. This way you have the form of this. I actually see that I didn't pull enough, so like this. And you already see some peaks for me. Let's do that on the other side. So like this. I look for symmetry when I do it. I even measure with my tape the distances sometimes to just get it right, because if not you will have asymmetry and I don't really want that. So like this, and the most interesting part is here, because here we are doing those peaks. See, I can pull more, but my pillow doesn't. Oh, I can even here. Okay, like this. So I have to do it here more. So you just go with it. You see how the shawl, or if you have, if you want to block it to the measurements from the pattern, if you have a shawl. Well, mine, I don't always write what the size should be, because I really want always to leave the choice to the knitter, because I like to have a pattern that I can stop with whenever I want to. So you don't really see it, but something like that. See, more, when you do it more, you have more. So something like that on the other side. You find the central brioche knit stitch and you pin that. So here it is, a little bit. You can see how it's not so all in a straight line. It's more interesting and better looking. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you liked it, and you can push the notification button so you'll know when I post another video.